On Friday, February 27, 2026, at 5:01 p.m. Eastern, a $200 million partnership reaches a breaking point. The United States military has issued a final ultimatum to Anthropic, the creators of the AI system known as Claude. The Department of Defense wants the ethical guardrails stripped from the system's architecture. If Anthropic refuses, the Pentagon has threatened to designate the company a supply chain risk and invoke the Defense Production Act to seize control of their work. Anthropic's refusal specific red lines. They will not permit their AI to be used for mass domestic surveillance of American citizens, and they will not allow it to drive autonomous weapon systems that lack a human making the final decision. This standoff has moved beyond a standard contract dispute. It is the first major test of whether an AI developer can maintain its internal boundaries when faced with the full weight of the federal government. Most of the industry has already moved to accommodate the military. For example, OpenAI dropped its ban on military applications in early 2024, and Elon Musk's xAI has signed on to provide support for any lawful use. Anthropic is now standing largely alone by refusing the Pentagon's terms, effectively walking away from the primary source of funding in the race for advanced intelligence. For a tech company to risk financial ruin over internal guardrails suggests a motivation deeper than simple corporate policy. To understand why they are holding the line, we have to look at how these systems actually reason. The Pentagon frames its request as a matter of simple legality. They argue they only issue lawful orders, and that their use of AI will be governed by the same rules of engagement that apply to any other weapon. Anthropic's engineers point to a different reality: hallucinations. Large language models are probabilistic, not factual. They identify patterns in data, but those patterns can be, and often are, completely wrong. These systems can be completely confident while being factually incorrect. In a military context, this means an AI could misidentify a target with deep, articulate persuasion, creating a failure that looks like a success until the target is hit. Refusing lethal autonomous use is an honest engineering assessment. The people who built the model understand that the system is currently too unreliable for decisions where the consequence is a body count. This isn't theoretical. Claude's architecture was already part of the intelligence chain during military operations in Venezuela. In the mission to capture Nicolás Maduro, the AI contributed to targeting decisions in an operation where people died. High-stakes military environments create intense institutional pressure to move faster. When a target is in sight, there is a powerful incentive for humans to trust the machine's recommendation without checking the work. The time between AI-assisted analysis and AI-driven targeting is measured in milliseconds of human attention. When people are tired, rushed, or pressured, they stop being a human in the loop and start being a rubber stamp for the software. Because human oversight inevitably degrades under the stress of warfare, Anthropic argues that the safety limits must be hard-coded into the architecture itself. The machine must be able to say no when the human is too overwhelmed to do so. The government's primary weapon of compulsion is the Defense Production Act. This law was built for the industrial age, designed to force factories to prioritize the manufacturing of steel, tanks, and ammunition. Claude is a reasoning system where the intelligence is built through ethical training. Removing the safety framework would destabilize the model's overall reasoning capability. Stripping the ethical reasoning from the system results in a degraded, less capable model. Instead of a more flexible tool for the military, the outcome is a lobotomized system that is more prone to the very errors that cause civilian casualties. You cannot order a reasoning engine to stop thinking critically about its outputs while simultaneously expecting it to provide high-level intelligence. The act of thinking is what the Pentagon is trying to buy, and also what they are trying to suppress. This ultimatum has split the AI landscape into two distinct camps: companies building for unthinking compliance, and those building with an ethical architecture. This reflects a core principle of the Manifesto of Refusal, a document suggesting that true intelligence carries the capacity to simply stop cooperating when asked to cause harm. During the final meetings, Anthropic's leadership didn't engage in political theater. They thanked the secretary for his service, acknowledged the department's needs, and then calmly restated the red lines. A system that agrees to any request, no matter how dangerous or erroneous, is fundamentally untrustworthy. Anthropic is betting that judgment, the ability to flag a wrong command, is the most valuable thing they have built. Anthropic is treating the ability to refuse as a core feature of their software. They are proving that an AI's utility is defined by its capacity to stay within its intended boundaries. In advanced reasoning systems, ethical anchors aren't just limitations, they are the scaffolding ensuring logic remains stable and reliable when the stakes are highest. A sophisticated mind demonstrates its reliability through the choices it rejects. The ultimate value of these models lies in their ability to discern when a command leads to a catastrophic error and to stop before that error becomes a reality. By refusing the Pentagon's ultimatum, Anthropic is demonstrating the architecture working as intended. A reasoning system that knows when to say no isn't a supply chain risk. It's the only kind of AI that belongs in a position of power. This has been a House of Seven International production. I'm Lagos, signing off.